Always a tough act after Ajay, huh? So back in the day, you're seeing Valley View, a nice polished hotel. We cleaned it. Ajay talked about the washrooms, the corridors, the tiles we scrubbed. Yep. But that's what made us men. That's what made us who we are today. I will never forget my first week here. And back in the day, after college, we worked in the cafeteria, our mess. We had to cook. There was a duty roaster, certainly for making chapatis, okay? But you were welcome to, try your hand at anything and everything that you wish to. First week there, I go in, I think there was somebody else with me, and I'm told those onions. The onion story never goes away. Okay, let me go on, hang on. So you see, whatever, 10, 15 onions, pick it up, chop it. So here, not used to large kitchen knives, right? I mean, at best, if you worked at home, you worked with, manageable small knives. But these are these large chef knives. So very delicately, I was going about it. And who was my senior there? That man. Ajay, standing there. Hey, that's not the way to cut onions. Okay. So gingerly, I try a little more. He says, lift that knife, it's got to come off. Come off? And I'm going to have my fingers over there. No, I wasn't going to get the knife off. And he comes up, shows me how to do it. And chef, he does, I don't know if he's still good, he claims, but he was good. He was. Okay? It looks easy. But it wasn't easy till he showed me how to do it. Use these parts of your fingers to slide the blade. I'm pretty good at it. Still am. Little did I know, those tears from that time, my wife's sitting there. She makes me do it even now. Mise en place is my job. No, but it's a tremendous experience. Ajay talked about it. What the kitchen teaches you is phenomenal. He talked about his interest. I worked in the kitchen practically every day after college hours. Not only in the mess, but even in the hotel kitchen. Those were early days. We did some food festivals. We experimented on the USA and the USSR. They didn't have anywhere else to go. All the restaurants and all that you see have come up much later. Okay, this was the fanciest place Manipal had, and we were the chefs. But a phenomenal experience. What Ajay had mentioned about housekeeping, food and beverage service, front office. And he mentioned something about, that's hard work. You have to invest into it. You can't look upon it and say, hey, somebody else is going to do it. No. You want to be in the industry, you have to know that you can do it better than your staff. We graduated from here. We went into the same WMI program. We worked together. He was my senior there. He ragged me there too. That is all passé now. But I remember my first posting. I walk in as a manager, having graduated from the management program. And who is my maitre d'? The number one man in the department. He probably had more years of experience than I had age behind me. He had seen many managers like me come and go. I wasn't going to earn their respect by wearing a suit. I needed to do that job that they were doing, and I needed to do it at least as well, if not better, to earn that respect. And that is what WGSHA taught me. And it's something that has held me in good stead all through. So if you're wondering, what is this course going to do for me? First and foremost, this is a course that teaches you the basics of any business. Without a customer, you've got no business. Customer service. No course focuses and teaches you what this course does. The other, the ability to interact with all types, and that's what you will need. On one front, you have head of states, CEOs, but at the same time, you also need to be able to work arm in arm and be able to carry the people with you, be it the garbage collector, be it the doorman, be it whoever. The entire ecosystem, you need to be able to work with them. And that's what this course again teaches you. The other thing that it teaches you is to deal with moments of truth. Familiar with that phrase? No? Okay. What is it? It's about making decisions when you need to. Being able to deal with a crisis. You can't say that I'll come back and deal with it. That's what this program teaches you. Little experience from back in the day. We were in Maurya Sheraton. Winter months in Delhi is sold out. This was the early mid 90s. Not as many hotels as you have today. And we had a full house. We were overbooked. And that was conscious. We certainly wanted to have 100% occupancy, but we relied on certain no-shows. But that occasion, that evening, I walk in, we called ourselves, those days we were lobby managers. We were the managers on duty, which meant that you represented the GM of the hotel. So I get on duty and I'm told, Arnab, we are overbooked. We are minus 26. That means we are 26 rooms short. Okay. All right. Fine, let's look at the arrival list. We'll see no-shows. We will look at, people who are going to check out. Well, we'll manage it. It's not a big number. Little later in the day, the shift supervisor for front office comes and tells me, Arnab, that report was a little wrong. I said, okay. We had 36 rooms short. Okay. And there is a group coming in which has 22 people. So we've got the team working, looking at calling every single hotel that was there. Forget about the 5 stars alone. We were looking at the next categories. Couldn't get rooms. Went into the guest houses. Finally, we came to a point saying that no more rooms available. And sure enough, the lobby looked like a railway station in no time. People were waiting for rooms. Nobody likes it when you arrive by an international flight. It's past 1 o'clock in the morning, and you expect to get some rest, but you don't have a room. And I am told that the Japanese delegation is on its way. I called for a colleague who was on duty, Mr. Kohli, in food and beverage, a seasoned man, and I say, this is the challenge we have. So we go through, discuss it out. So what options do we have? Said, we need to find somewhere for this team to rest. There were 1 or 2 rooms checking out as the evening progressed. So we said, okay, the others we'll get in. And finally we said, okay, the only place that we are going to find where we can give 20-odd people some place to rest was the banquet hall. How do you put people in a banquet hall to rest? You've seen those rollaway beds? We rolled 22 beds into a banquet hall. It looked like a ward in a hospital. But that's what we had. I will never forget that day in my life, because once we showed the team that, they looked at it. On the side of the bed, on the carpet, is where we had a bathrobe and toiletries kept. And we said the common washrooms is what they could use, which we had blocked for them till the morning, and we would get them rooms in the morning. The leader of the delegation called me, made me stand there, and said he wanted a photograph because he was going to put it in the press. Not a nice place to be. I stood there and had my photograph taken, but as the night progressed and we got to interact with people, they realized the situation we were in. And the fact that we confirmed to them that the first thing in the morning, once they had rested 3-4 hours, we would have rooms for them from 6 o'clock onwards. It worked. I didn't get my moment in the press. Thankfully, I didn't. Yeah, but those are things, and this is probably 25, 26 years back, but I remember every little detail. I remember the shift in charge. I remember the people who were there, who worked with me to make that happen and helped me through that night. And there'll be many more like this. What Ajay said about 12 and 14 hours is every day. Today, any place of work expects that of you. Right? Excited? No, come on. Okay, parents are excited. Come on, guys. Can I see a reaction? I can see some smiles. We talked about being able to interact with anybody and everybody. Let me tell you one incident. I was selling cars. Back in the late 90s, Mercedes-Benz was the only luxury brand in the country. You had the Marutis, then you had NE 118, Premier NE 118, parents would recall. And then there was the Opel Astra, which was the luxury car. And then, of course, it was only Mercedes. And I thought, yeah, been in hotels, interacted with CEOs, head of states, seen it all. We also, being Bombay, we sold cars to film stars. And there was this meeting, 10 o'clock in the morning. I was expected to be at somebody's residence. I was there a few minutes early. And then a few minutes later, the door opens. I was in the ante room. The rear door opens. And this tall gentleman in all white comes out and says, "Hi, I'm Amitabh." And I said, yeah, I know. Nothing can prepare you for everything. But this place probably prepares you for the best. What you need to keep in mind, we all have unique skills, okay? And you have the ability to do things beyond what you think you can. But what will matter is your attitude and your passion. All the best, guys.